solve for x? How do you solve for x? It's like a broken record. Oh, you guys remember what a record is? Oh.
Yeah.
How do you solve for x? Square this side, square this side, square this side, square this side. So therefore, x is equal to 4, x is equal to 25. All right. So you applied the u substitution to this problem. You applied your formula, right? You got it all the way down here. Then you plug back into u, whatever u was, after you solve for u. U is equal to square root of x. Square root of x is equal to 2. You got to solve for x. You square both sides, you got to solve for x. You should know that. When you solve for x, you got to square both sides. Nice, Carl. Got something out here? I'll call later. He wants a job. Okay. Let's look at another one. Example 3. X to the 2/3 minus 6 x to the 1/3 minus 7 equals 0. Again, quadratic in a form, right? So you got to use substitution. What is u going to be? What is u going to be?
X squared.
X to the 1/3.
I did 2 of them like that, and I always said u will always be whatever this middle one is for x, no matter what it is. I said that, right? So I just want to see if you were paying attention. No matter what you do, the first thing you do for u substitution, always, I stress that, u is always, whatever this is. If this was x to the 2/3, u would have been that. If this was x to the 1/9, u would have been that, right? So you always, that's the first thing you do. So u is equal to x to the 1/3. Therefore, I substitute down in u. So therefore, u squared minus 6u minus 7 equals 0. So, what two numbers multiply together give you minus 7? Same two numbers added together give you minus 6. Huh?
Negative 7 plus 1.
Negative 7 plus 1. I like it. Okay. Therefore, u minus 7, u plus 1 equals 0. What is u?
Positive 7, negative 1.
That's it. U is equal to 7. U is equal to negative 1. It's not that hard. You're making mistakes. You're making mistakes. You're making mistakes. Yeah, don't think too hard. It's not that hard. Yeah. Now, we solve for u. Now I need to go back and figure out what is u again?
1/3.
X to the 1/3. So therefore, x to the 1/3 is equal to 7, and x to the 1/3 is equal to negative 1. So how do you solve for x?
Square.
Do you square it?
No, you cube it.
You cube it. Look at the denominator there. So you cube this side, and you cube this side. Likewise, you cube that side, you cube this side. So, what is the first answer? 7 times 7 times 7. 343, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the second answer is minus 1. Because negative 1 times a negative 1 times a negative 1 is a negative 1. That's your answer. Those steps I did over and over again, same thing. Only thing changed was the numbers of the problems. But the steps was exactly the same over and over. So guess what? You have to remember the steps, and you got to remember basic rules of if you see this to the 1/3, how do you solve for x? You got to know if it's 1/3, I raise it to the 3rd power. If it's 1/4, I raise it to the 4th power. If it's 1/5, I raise it to the 5th power. That means I would have to raise this to the 5th power. You got to practice that. You got to remember. You got to train your brain to remember these things. That's the only way you're going to get good at math. The stuff over and over gets repeated, over and over. And remember I tell you how you learn stuff? Repetition. Keep doing it,
So then
over
if
and
it was
over
one
and
half,
over.
there will be the square.
What is it?
If it was one half, it would be the square.
If it was 1/2, it would be squared. 1/2 would be
This
2
one.
squared.
Whatever you're talking.
Yes, Devon.
Okay, you see how you got 6x to the 1/3?
6x with
Way at
6.
the top.
Way at the
Negative
top,
6x.
yes.
Okay, what do you have? All right, 6x to the 2/9, and on the other side you had 6x to the.
It'd have to be 4/9. It would have to be 4/9.
But if it wasn't,
Then you wouldn't be able to solve it because quadratic in the form would means that this one would be twice as much as that one.
oh, so if it's not
See, like
solvable,
if you take this one and if I take x to the 1/3 and I multiply it by 2, 2 times 1 is equal to x to the 2/3.
yeah,
You see that? That's why
that's
that
why
one
it
is
works.
twice as much as this one. And it's always going to be in the form of x squared or u squared, u to the 1 power. U to the 2, u to the 1, right? That's why it's twice as much. So you got to recognize it first as being twice as much. When you look at this one and you look at that one. But I'll tell you this, here's a hint. Every last one of these problems that you're going to do substitution would always be twice as much. All you got to do is recognize that I first start off, u is always going to be this one here. Whatever that is, u is going to be that one. And therefore, u squared would just be this one, but you can just put u squared.
Yeah.
Just plug it in there. But you could check it to verify to make sure, just by multiplying it by 2, and you would know.
Okay.
But all of these will be that way, because they don't do any tricks like that to you.
So if it wasn't, it would be unsolvable?
Yeah, yeah, but they won't do that. I won't even give you a problem like that. Okay, so that's how you do that. Let's do something a little bit different. Let me erase this now. That's how you do that type of problem with u substitution. Same steps over.